Welcome! Today, we're jumping into a huge topic, generative AI and education. But instead of talking about the usual fears, we're going to look at how this tech could actually be the key to fixing some of the oldest, deepest problems in how we teach and learn. Let's get into it.
So when you hear AI in the classroom, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably this, right? Cheating. The headlines are screaming about it. Students using chatbots to ace their essays. And yeah, it seems like the most obvious, biggest threat out there. But what if we're all looking in the wrong direction?
Here's a quote from Mike Klemkowski, a retired professor whose ideas are the foundation for what we're talking about today. And he comes right out and says it. Focusing on cheating totally misses the mark. That's a pretty bold statement, and it makes you wonder, what is the real issue then?
I mean, this is someone with over 4 decades in the trenches of teaching, and his argument is that AI isn't the problem. The real problem is an educational system that was already full of cracks. He's basically saying we're blaming the new tool for highlighting flaws that have been there all along.
Okay, so if AI isn't the bad guy here, then what is? Well, that brings us to the core of this whole thing. The problem isn't the tech or even the students, it's the system itself.
So here's the first big critique. For a lot of students, the whole experience feels less about actually learning and more about being sorted into neat little piles for the job market, you know? It's all about getting that grade, that rank, instead of whether you truly understood the material.
And how does that sorting happen? A lot of the time, it's through methods that just aren't that effective. Think about the classic lecture. A professor talks for an hour, students furiously take notes, but there's very little proof that this is a great way to learn anything complex. True learning? That's an active process.
And that leads us straight to the testing problem. So many tests are just designed to see if you can recognize the right answer in a list. But let's be real. Picking option C on a multiple-choice test is a completely different universe from actually understanding why C is the right answer.
Now, to really get the solution we're building towards, you have to know about 2 kinds of assessment. It's pretty simple. Formative assessments are like practice drills. They're ungraded, and their whole point is learning and getting feedback. Summative assessments, that's the big game, the final exam, the thing that gives you your grade.
So why do we lean so hard on those big summative tests, especially the multiple choice kind? Well, honestly, it often just comes down to logistics. I mean, think about it. If you're a professor with a huge class, grading actual written work takes forever. So you turn to exams a machine can grade in seconds, even if they're not great at measuring real comprehension.
Okay, so the system is flawed. We get it. But here is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Generative AI, the very technology we're all so worried about, might just be the tool we need to finally push for a change that's been needed for a long, long time. It's not a magic fix, but it's a powerful catalyst.
And that distinction is absolutely crucial. We shouldn't see AI as some silver bullet that's going to replace teachers. Instead, we should think of it as a catalyst. It's a tool that can supercharge what great teachers already do, making their instruction even better.
So how do we actually do that? How do we use AI as this catalyst? Well, it all starts with completely rethinking how we do tests and exams.
The plan is actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity. First, for those big graded exams, you make them totally AI-free, old school. No phones, no internet. But, and this is the genius part, the teacher uses AI before the test. They use it as an assistant to check their own questions, find tricky wording, and make sure the test is actually fair and accurate.
And the whole point is to make exams so good that you don't need to grade on a curve. Klemkowski calls curving a fire alarm, a big, loud signal that something is wrong with the test, the teaching, or the course itself.
Okay, so if the big graded exams are now AI-free, where does AI get to play? Well, it gets to shine in the day-to-day learning by creating a feedback loop that's more powerful than anything we've had before.
Now this is the real game changer. Just picture it. Students do some practice work. It's not even for a grade. Instantly, an AI scans every single response. But here's the magic. It tells the instructor, hey, a lot of your students are struggling with this specific concept. So the very next day, the teacher can walk into class knowing exactly what to focus on.
What this does is it frees instructors from that constant pressure to just cover the material, just racing through the textbook. With this kind of real-time data, they can actually slow down and make sure students really get the foundational stuff before moving on.
So we've fixed exams and we've supercharged the daily learning process. The last piece of the puzzle is to zoom out and use AI to give the entire system a health check. Think about it. By analyzing all that exam data across lots of different courses and over several years, AI can give us objective proof of what's working and what isn't. Are students actually learning what the program says they should be learning? This kind of data gives everyone, students, teachers, administrators, the power to make smarter choices. So when you put it all together, what's the end goal here? It turns out this whole AI-powered transformation isn't really about new tech at all. It's about getting back to a really old idea about what education is even for. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Thousands of years ago, Socrates knew that education wasn't about stuffing facts into someone's brain. It was a conversation. It was about questioning things and actively working to truly understand them.
And that's what real understanding looks like. It isn't about memorizing answers. It's about building the skill of critical thinking. And maybe most importantly, it's about being able to look at your own knowledge and know for sure what you know and being honest about what you don't.
And that really leaves us with one big final question. What if we used all these new tools to change our focus entirely? To stop the mad dash for just covering topics and instead aim for the much deeper, more meaningful goal of real mastery. Now that would be a revolution.